WordPress themes can be of different types. The tools they integrate to let you build your website can change radically. It's fundamental to know at least the main differences between these, so you will know what type to use depending on what you're planning to build and how you want to build it. The main types are classic, hybrid, block, and universal themes. Classic themes are currently the most common ones, mostly because for roughly 19 years, until 2022, this was the only option. If you have used WordPress before, you probably used one of these. Their main features are the customizer, which is used for global visual changes across your website, and here I'm talking colors, typography, bottom footer text, and any kind of visual setting that applies to most pages. Sometimes themes also add other settings outside the customizer, and these can be found under the Appearance section or somewhere in the WP Admin sidebar. And more in general, classic themes still use Gutenberg, the block editor we mentioned in the last video, but they miss some features compared to other theme types. The good news is that despite this, these features can still be added to your theme in case of need. Classic themes also have widget areas for the footer, for sidebars, or other content shared between pages. And the templates of these themes are developed with PHP. So if you open your theme folder, you should see a bunch of PHP files with some CSS and some JavaScript. The main drawback of classic themes is that they don't include all the cool features from block themes. But we can still add them. And to do this, we just need to create a new file in your main theme folder, call it Theme.json, and with that, you've just created a hybrid theme. Let's say, for example, that we have a paragraph. We need to add some spacing around this element, but by default, with a classic theme, we don't have any settings for that. So a few years ago, this meant using CSS or another plugin for this. But nowadays, we could also just add a couple of lines to theme.json and enable these spacing settings right here. This is just a short example, but you can check the documentation from WordPress to see all the extra settings that you can enable in this way in your classic themes. I'll leave a link to this in the description. And if you think about it, this solves what otherwise would have been a huge problem. Because if you have a classic theme and you want to convert that into a block theme, you can do it slowly. You don't have to rebuild your entire website. And this brings us to universal themes. These include both the customizer from classic themes and the full site editor from block themes. The main use case for universal themes is that they're a temporary transition between a classic theme and a block-based theme. And finally, we can talk about block themes, which are the most modern ones, and these are mostly based on Gutenberg and come with a bunch of additional advanced customization settings that normally you don't have on classic themes. Here you can use blocks everywhere, including in the header or the footer or any other theme part you can think of. Using this theme type is often summarized as full site editing. You can also create custom templates without any code that then you can reuse on multiple pages. You can create custom theme parts, and in general, we can say that you will have more no-code features to use compared to classic themes. Since they include a more advanced site editor, these themes don't use the customizer at all. So that's removed from the interface and is not accessible. And together with the customizer, widget areas become obsolete as well. Even with block themes, you may still need to actually code depending on the kind of website you're building and on the feature you need. And at the same time, it's not obvious that a block theme that lets you customize everything is always necessary. Keep in mind that sometimes additional customization options mean also additional headaches to solve later on. So as always, there isn't a solution for everyone. We need to evaluate each project case by case. Another important difference is that block themes have a different folder structure and different file types. Classic themes are made mostly of PHP, while these consist mostly of HTML. And I think that's all for now. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you on the next one.